time for another edition of the Agents of Fandom podcast. I am TJ Zwarich. I'm your host, joined by three of my fellow agents. We got a loaded show today. Aisha, Adam, Ethan, and of course, a very special guest today, Brandon Davis from comicbook.com, host of Phase Zero. How you doing, BD?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you guys for having me on. I'm ready to win a prize. It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be great.
Well, I'll see if I got some Funkos and some extra comics. You know, you've hooked me up with a few things before, so I could probably send something your way if you win.
Bragging rights are all.
This is collusion from the start. This is unbelievable.
Ethan, enough. I'm trying to get through some sentimental stuff. I understand you're mad. I pushed back your intro, but I'm gonna get there. I wanted to take a moment to appreciate and shout you out, BD, because not only do we all love Phase Zero and are fans of the podcast, but it's meant a whole lot to all of our lives individually. The Phase Zero, what's the word? Group community on Twitter? Community, thank you.
There you go.
Community on Twitter. That's where Adam met all of us. And now Adam is a co-owner and the head of our editorial team and one of my closest friends. Aisha, we met from Phase Zero. We have a Twitter group chat where it's multiple of my closest friends in the entire world, and we met them in the Twitch chat for Phase Zero. And so on top of things like getting the chance to meet Tyrese Gibson and Soon Kang with all of my students, which is one of the things that inspired me to want to do this, wanted to get on camera, wanted to talk to people. And so you've made a very big impact in not just mine, but so many of our lives. So I wanted to, before we even get going, I wanted to thank you for that.
Well, I mean, you didn't have to say all that, but I really appreciate it. Like, genuinely, it means a lot to hear that. And when we started Phase Zero, which was almost 3 years ago now, I mean, this was kind of always the kind of stuff I wanted to do at Comic Book, and I've been at Comic Book for 8.5 years now, but Phase Zero has been going for almost 3. This is the kind of thing I want to do. And I see you guys talking all the time. I know that you guys have, like, you guys are all friends, and I've seen, like, people who have gone to meetups and gone to Disneyland together and all kinds of stuff that I think a lot of people met through Phase Zero. I like to think the fandom just would have brought people together anyway. So I don't want to give us and myself too much credit, but I really appreciate that you attribute any of that to us. We're very lucky to do what we do, all of us. So, I mean, I'm happy to be able to bring, like, I'm pretty sure I've had somebody listen to Michael Bay before on the phone.
That was me.
Yeah, we were talking
a year ago. I was like, hopefully he remembers who I am. Yeah, we met a year ago for my high school writer's craft project where I got to interview someone I admire, and I was like, why not go big and ask BD?
Yeah, that was all. And then it just so happened I had to do an interview for, I don't remember for Ambulance. And I was like, yeah. I mean, if you want to listen, you're welcome to. And that, like, it was just an interview with Michael Bay. And I was like, this is, to me, like, it's awesome because I don't know. I feel like I got so insanely lucky to get my job when I did. The person that Comic Book hired back in 2015 as a full-time employee wouldn't get hired for the same job today because of how much Comic Book has grown. Like, my skill set has had to grow with Comic Book, and Comic Book has had to grow with my skill set. We've had to both push each other to make it better. And with that, like, I look at this and I'm like, man, it is not easy. Like, I got so lucky to get this opportunity. It's not easy to get these job like this and do. So when I get an opportunity to either help somebody, get into the field or get a look behind the curtain or just anything, I don't know. That's the stuff I like doing the most. That's the most fulfilling stuff, in addition to, like, helping my coworkers get opportunities as well. So, I mean, all that to say, thank you, dude, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're very happy to have you on. We've finally completed the Fantastic Four. Jenna's been on, I think, once or twice, and Jamie and Aaron are both 4 or 5-time guests now on the pod, I think. And so we finally completed the Phase Zero cast. Happy to have you on. Adam, of course, always joined my co-host, my fellow trusty co-host, the head of editorial here. How you doing, Adam?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Like I said before we started, to see which one of you guys drafts second, even though BD was trying to spread a little bit of misinformation before we got started.
You want to see who's going to be in the place in front of him.
Okay, here we go. He's back to it. But no, yeah, I'm excited. And just to kind of echo a little bit of the sentiment that you so eloquently hit on earlier. Yeah, BD, it's really cool to have you here, man. It's like a big full circle moment for a lot of us here because, like, I was at a pretty lost place in my life before you guys started the Phase Zero community and stuff. So to introduce me to these people, and then I found you I think somewhere in between the build up to Infinity War and Endgame, and then got introduced to the podcast and the community, and then into all these lovely, beautiful people here, and then have helped like grow this into this awesome thing. So it's just then to have you here connected with us now, it's a really, really awesome full circle moment. So I'm excited to do all this, to get into the draft, talk a little bit of Loki. I can't wait.
I appreciate that.
Ethan, multiple time guest on the pod. Nice to have you back. I love having you on for drafts specifically because we talk shit, we get into it, and we have a good time. We have different taste in movies, but I respect your opinion nonetheless. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I appreciate you having me back on the pod. BD, pleasure to be on the show with you. Yeah, you know, there's this thing with me and podcasts where people just have me on for drafts just because like I human Chernobyl the thing and I end up just like getting too inside my head. But I promise that is not happening tonight because I'm winning and I am so ready to finally take home a draft belt against a pretty elite squad, if I got to be honest. So, pleasure to be here, TJ. Power of the Dog, great movie. Love to see it.
You guys are all going to make it in this industry because you're clearly a bunch of dreamers.
Brutal. Strays.
We will see. We will see. I've had a pretty good winning percentage in these drafts. And finally...
Until I came along.
We'll see. And finally, Aisha, second appearance on the Agents of Fandom podcast. You came on for the Barbenheimer bonus episode, and now your first live show. We've been wanting to do this for a long time. Happy we finally got a chance. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm so excited to be here talking Loki. And so yeah, very excited to be here.
Little wonky. We're working through some technical difficulties through the live show. Got a little bit of an echo some places. Ethan, as usual, is just doing terrible things, having his mic.
My bad. I'm just trying to get inside people's heads right now. Honestly, I'm just trying to Michael Scott this thing and like freak people out. Yeah,
we're back. We are back. All right, let's start getting into it. Before we do the draft, what we're doing today, for those who don't know, is we're drafting our favorite movies from 2023 so far. After the draft is done, we will give a little what's our most anticipated movie yet coming through the rest of the year. But 4 rounds, snake draft. We're going to randomize the draft order. None of us know when our picks are going to be yet. And there's going to be, I guess, 20 movies picked, which feels like a lot for half of a year. We'll see how it goes. But I feel like after the first 2 rounds, we can get into niche stuff. And it's just like, what have been our kind of favorite movies that are, it's not necessarily going to be the top 20 movies of the year. It's just the favorite ones we've watched. So, yeah, let's, before we dive into that though, we're going to talk a little Loki, because Loki dropped a trailer. And what I noticed when Loki dropped this trailer is we all kind of have our own circles of what our favorite shows are and our own little echo chambers. But Loki and WandaVision really seem to be the two that anytime the kind of news drops, now it's a trailer for this one, the general public, the masses, the majority, really seem to rank these two tops. Loki just broke a record on YouTube for a trailer for a Disney Plus series in terms of viewership. I'm excited. This show looks incredible. BD, you guys already broke this down on Phase Zero today. What are your kind of quick thoughts on the trailer? What'd you think?
I think it's awesome, man. I think it's obvious why people are excited. Loki is the best show that Disney Plus has released from Marvel so far. And now, even though they have new directors, I really liked Kate Herron's work. That said, I also like Justin and Aaron from Moon Knight. So visually, they were able to align with what Kate Herron did with that first season, which was a big standout part of the show. Loki's back. Mobius is back. I mean, it's got everything. I think that it seems to have everything that worked about the first season. Now a lot of that mystery is out of the way about what's the TVA. I think there's going to be a new mystery. It gave me everything I wanted and still did not give me much at all in terms of the story. So I'm here for it. Loki is definitely, I hope Loki delivers. I really hope Loki delivers.
I think it's going to. That trailer just looked so wildly incredible. It's giving us the Loki and Mobius friendship that we want to see. The jet skis are back. Or not back, they're here for the first time. I can't wait to get to see them interact on those. But Adam, what did you think of the trailer? Where does Loki rank for you among your MCU Disney Plus shows? And do you think this show is going to be delivered?
Well, to answer your last question first, absolutely. I think the show is going to deliver, especially given how good the first one was. But as far as rankings go, I'm a stickler for like comparing things differently, whether it's what I think is my personal favorite and what I also think is the best. I do think Loki, like structurally, is the best show that we've gotten so far. But like WandaVision, it's 2 on my favorite list just because I love so much of what WandaVision did, like taking that leap into something completely different. It just like it's so rewatchable for me. I still have my problems with the ending and playing it a little safe as that. But I don't know. And the thing that stood out really the most for me with the trailer is like that score, that scene, the way they work the music in the show. It's like you could cut 2 minutes of like Loki and Mobius sitting there eating green pie and like just put it to that score, and I would have said it's like the best trailer I've ever seen. I don't know. I think if I'm not mistaken, Kate Herron is back to do the score again for the second season as well. And like I just her work on the first season too it's just incredible the way they use the music and everything to accentuate the tension and all that stuff. So I don't know. There's so many good things. Getting to see Mobius with the jet skis, that's going to be awesome. That's one of those things that I was like, when I first saw it, it's really cool. Now I almost wish that would have been one of those things we got to see in the show for the first time. But I get it. Like, I'm sure there's still going to be, I'm sure the show will still deliver plenty of things like that. But overall, yeah, I'm super, super excited. I mean, after Secret Invasion, I think a lot of us really, really need a good MCU show, a good MCU project, especially with the Marvels coming up too. Excited for that. But yeah, I'm really excited. I definitely think it's going to deliver. And this was just an awesome trailer.
Yeah,
Adam, you said Kate Herron and not Natalie Holt.
Natalie Holt.
Natalie Holt. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I got that, yeah. Shout out to Emma in the chat.
Emma noticed that one in the chat. Yeah, Natalie Holt back for this one. Ethan, what'd you think? For what it's worth, we're not going to do like a frame by frame breakdown of the trailer. You want that? Check out Martha's breakdown of the Loki trailer season 2 up on agentsfandom.com as well. Check out today's episode of Phase Zero because they broke down the Loki trailer there as well. Ethan, what did you think of Loki? I know this one is something you're fond of, and we actually have like a fun Loki connection too, because when Loki was on for the first time, you had a guest on the 15 Minutes of Marvel podcast. May it rest in peace. And one of your guests was a former contestant from a little show on Netflix called The Circle, Lee Swift. And Lee Swift, of course, we got to meet through you, and I got his contact information, and now he's a writer here at Agents of Fandom, hosts the Ticket to Reality podcast with us. And so we have a nice little Loki connection from that.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, RIP 15 Minutes of Marvel. It was a good run. But yeah, I mean, I also had the opportunity to have Eric Martin, one of the writers of the show, on that pod and talk to him about season 1 and some really interesting kind of creative choices that they made. I think that episode still exists somewhere out in the time streams, so you can find it if you want to listen to that conversation. I haven't seen Secret Invasion. I'm pretty, I'm probably out of this group. I'm the coldest on the MCU right now. I think we've got a classic oversaturation and stretched thin problem. But Loki season 2 looks really promising. I'm really surprised nobody has brought up the point of Ki-Hu Kwan being in this show. Right off of his run to win a Best Supporting Actor last year at the Oscars, he looks really fun, and I think the bit with him was a great tonality setter of what he will bring to this season, and I'm excited to see how involved he gets. You guys mentioned the music, which I think is great. I'm a very big stan on the fact that Lamentis is the best episode of Loki. I know people hate on that episode. I think it is magnificent. And I truly do believe...
That's taste. That's the one that ends with that long one shot when everything's crashing down.
Absolutely. And the song goes from that moment into the credits, which is very an excellent creative decision. But I firmly believe Loki season 1 to be like a top 5 MCU project just all time. I think it was done exceptionally well. That's a high bar to go into with season 2. I've got my fingers crossed. I will be watching. I'm excited. I gotta be honest. I don't have a lot of faith, but I'm here to be surprised. Fingers crossed.
I still have the faith. Secret Invasion is definitely the lowest ranked MCU series for me. It was the first one that I didn't really enjoy all that much, but I still had fun because I love the characters. The acting performances were amazing, and I got the faith for Loki season 2. Aisha, what did you think of the trailer? Because the hype levels are high right now. Where is it at for you?
I'm very hyped for Loki season 2. I'm gonna admit, I didn't like the ending of season 1. I still think WandaVision's the superior MCU show, so Nothing's beating that. However, for season 2, I'm very, very excited to see Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson back together. I feel like they're the perfect duo for this show. And like Mobius, yeah, BD with the jacket.
Fire.
Woo. Mobius, like obviously we have to see the jet skis, and hopefully he gets to ride on them. Like, come on. I'm also surprised none of us mentioned Miss Minutes yet, because that giant clock is gonna do another jump scare, and I'm not ready for that. Like, not thrilled. It's like, I bet Tara Strong had the like time of her life recording her lines for that, so that's really thrilling. And yeah, I'm just very, very excited. The season looks very promising, like you've all mentioned. So yeah.
The small amount of Miss Minutes we got was so good. Shout out to Tara Strong, and of course on the Agents of Fandom YouTube page and on agentsofandom.com you can find CJ's interview with Tara Strong from the Cleveland Fan Expo as well, so make sure you check that one out. Those watching in video form, shout out to the podcast viewers, rate 5 stars, leave us a nice review, but those listening in YouTube form are getting a little treat because BD's throwing on the TVA jacket. I'm wearing our AOF variant edition sweatshirt right now. We got the clothing going, and I want to also shout out our Twitch chat watching us live right now, giving lots of love, as well as I see we got Garrett back in the chat right now. Garrett, we love you, we miss you, can't wait to have you back on with us, my dude. And
I
so
also spilled a little bit of Monster energy drink on my shirt during that, so I think the video stream, if they caught it, they're really winning today.
They are. We always appreciate those tuning in live and those watching us on YouTube as well. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all the good stuff. The last part about the Loki trailer I wanted to touch on before we dive into it is I have a question for everyone, and that's about time slipping, because time slipping is very evident in the trailer. We see Mobius and Loki going to Ki Kwan right off the bat, and they're asking about it. We get the fun bit of like, I've seen it. Can you fix it? No. I want to know. Damon wrote this great piece about how Across the Spider-Verse may have solved a plot hole in Morbius. Why am I here? It might have something to do with Spider-Man. I don't know. We all assumed that was No Way Home. We all assumed it was Tom Holland, but maybe he's just referring to the Spider-Verse because
quit. No. We ain't giving him that
even
credit.
see a vulture shoot into a random universe and Across the Spider-Verse.
Listen, if you're good at something, TJ, don't be giving it out for free now. See, that's a better idea than anybody working on that universe has cooked up, save for the Spider-Verse movies. And they ain't touching Morbius. Please don't convolute the Beyond the Across the Spider-Verse saga with that pile of shit that was the post-credits scene. That was
Raw
insulting to
opinion.
anybody who pays attention to continuity with even one little brain cell.
We have a unofficial slogan on the Agents of Fandom podcast that we take everyone's favorite content creators from around the industry and we give them a chance where they can say fuck on air. And so if we get you to drop an F-bomb by the end of the show, that's the goal.
But you keep talking, you keep trying to hype up Morbius, I might go full Negan. Like comic book Negan.
Lucky Leela isn't on. Leela and CJ, they will be talking about Morbius for like hours.
Morbius sweep.
Layla's in the chat right now. I love Morbius, all caps, no Morbius.
Morbius is
Nobody
good.
wanted Morbius to be good more than I did. I put it high on my rankings on Phase Zero.
Wow.
Yeah, I was actually looking forward to it, and I paid the price dearly for that. So
I still haven't seen it.
I still haven't seen it. It was so unoffensive. It was simultaneously the most inoffensive and somehow still more forgettable than Quantumania. I just don't understand what, man, if that movie came out in 2001, maybe. But it came out in 2022.
Oof.
Whatever year it came out in.
Don't I love how that you said like don't be trying to solve these problems for them without getting paid for it, because that actually was something Damon pitched to me today for a podcast episode. Is Marvel used to do this thing calling it the No Prize, where they'd talk to fans and be like, hey, if you can find a problem with our continuity and give us a great idea, we'll give you this little no prize. And we should do that with an episode with plot holes, and that's basically what Damon did with that article.
Go ahead and rewrite the roadie twist for them.
Exactly. That's another good.
Please don't. I'm having a good time. Please don't talk about it.
I
can't.
Yeah, sorry. I don't mean to derail us. I don't mean to derail us.
Bringing us down.
Anyway, the Loki trailer was awesome.
So back to my question. Do we think time slipping is anything similar to glitching in Across the Spider-Verse? Do we think these are ties that will, throughout the multiverse, have something to do with each other? BD, you don't think so?
That was my first reaction, that absolutely it would be so similar, but I don't think that glitching. I think glitching in Spider-Verse, as far as we've seen, doesn't send you back to your universe or to another one. It just kind of makes you glitch for a second, right when the story really needs you to fall off a building in the middle of a fight. So I think in Loki, time slipping is actually going to make them travel through time, kind of like a huge spoiler here if you've never watched Lost. But kind of like when they spun the wheel on Lost, the island started traveling through time unpredictably, and everybody was just kind of stuck riding it out. I think that that's kind of what's happening in Loki. I think that it looks extremely painful, and that man is going from time to time. Yeah,
I think that makes sense. That's a very reasonable theory on that. Ethan,
and if I just spoil Lost for you, that show has been off the air for like. Listen,
how dare you? Honestly.
The show was 2 years from over when Iron Man was coming out. So
unhinged BD alert. Jeez.
Wait, did I just ruin that for somebody?
No, Garrett said in brackets, in parentheses afterwards, I don't actually care. He was just joking, trolling with the Lost.
Oh my God, Layla just said, "What is Lost?" Layla. Oh my God. Sometimes I forget.
Wow.
13.
Layla has provided us lately with some of the most all-time, just like random questions about finding out that pirates are real for the first time, and it's just some fantastic stuff.
We are youths. We don't know anything.
You all the Liam Crowley crowd, okay?
Yeah.
You're God. I'm getting the Mr. Fantastic stripe up here. It's already happened, and that's because I like Lost.
Shout out to our youths. Check out the Fandom Academy podcast hosted by Layla and CJ. Us 30-year-olds, we may not understand the takes, but that doesn't mean that they're not great.
I'm having a conversation with a friend, and they're just like, "So you probably know this sound from TikTok, right?" And I'm like, No, I don't even know what a sound on TikTok is.
I posted my first Agents of Fandom TikTok the other day, and I was so proud of myself, and I realized afterwards there was like no sound music behind it or anything like that, and I was like, all right, this isn't going to do anything. But anyways, Adam, what do you think?
The Loki trailer was really good.
The Loki trailer was really good. Ethan,
that's the slogan of this episode.
Do you think time slipping, glitching, any of this is going to have multiversal connection?
Look, personally, I kind of am just along for the ride, and I'm really not trying to predict like what this means for anything. And I think for Loki, I guess I'm on the same like wavelength as BD. Like, I don't think it's going to act the same way as like a Spider-Verse glitch. I think it's going to be something completely unique. And if it did act the same way as a Spider-Verse glitch, or if it did go in that kind of vein of things, I think that would really, unfortunately, kind of water down the Loki series and like what it might mean, because it's been done, because we've already seen it. And I think what Loki does is very unique and special, and that's what they're so good at. I think it looks dope. I think like what we see in the trailer looks very good. If the VFX is going to look like that through the entire series, obviously remains to be seen. Hopefully they gave the VFX teams enough time and the appropriate pay, but we'll see. I'm excited. I think it looks really good.
Can you also just point out that it looks similar, like a similar thing to how they're changing places in the Marvels?
Yeah,
like time slipping doesn't seem to be changing places with anyone, but maybe changing places like with himself or just his time. But it like with Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel and Monica all kind of changing places in that movie. It looks like a similar effect, even though I think it's a very different event.
Speaking of the Marvels, Adam, do you think now that Gaia has Captain Marvel's powers, do you think she's going to swap places with them too? I'm just kidding. Give me a quick answer so we can move on to this draft. I feel like we got the chaos of an old school AOF episode right now, and I'm loving every fucking second.
I really hope 4 years from now we all feel dumb for doubting Feige's current plan. But right now,
I hope so too.
There's so many more questions than answers, and they're starting to piss me off.
It's hilarious. And the Ali Salim in basically all these interviews right now is basically just going, it's Feige's fault. It's him. He wanted it. It's fine. Adam, but yes or no? Do you think there's a connection?
No, not really. Kind of like what BD said. I don't really give them, when it comes to these kinds of things, I think oftentimes like the fans like to draw these conclusions when it's like they're really just kind of the creators in these shows and are all kind of doing their own thing and have their own ideas for these things. But like my first thought when I saw it, obviously like everybody else, I thought of the glitching. But then with him going to somewhere else, I was like, wait, is this like, you think Kang is, or whichever Victor Timely or whoever is going to be like messing with, I don't know, maybe when he's getting close to figuring out what could be going on, then he sends him somewhere else or something like that. That was kind of my first thought, which will probably also end up being wrong. But no, I really don't think it's like Morbius wise or Spider-Verse wise, or even really like the No Way people coming in and No Way Home. Everybody's switching universes so many different ways now. It's hard to really keep track of like what the purpose is and who's in control of everything. But I think this will just end up kind of being its own thing, like timeline universe stuff. But yeah, I have my doubts about how they'll land that, because I think this is just opening up a whole different can of worms that they're going to have to be really careful about how they deal with. But I don't know. No, I don't expect it to tie into anything else, especially not any kind of Sony property, anything like that. I don't think Kevin Feige has any interest in working with them outside of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's the hottest character in the world right now. It's crazy how the pendulum swung.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wow.
That's right.
I have just clicked draft order randomize.
Oh.
I feel like it's time to dive in.
Wait, so
oh wait, Aisha,
your
you. Yes or no? Connected or not connected?
I'm just gonna leave. I agree with BD. Like, I don't think it's connected. I feel like it's just a coincidence. And yeah, we don't really know what the intention is, but like, what am I trying to say? Words are not coming. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a connected thing. I feel like this is going to be a whole different thing of Loki just jumping from universe to universe with just like time traveling abilities. So yeah, I don't think it's connected.
I think we're going to get to see, like, we got a lot of stuff in the first season of Loki that he was using a lot different, like, comic book powers and expanding on things that we didn't get to see in his appearances in the movies. And I think we're going to get to see that expanded upon in season 2, with we get to see the green eyes and him doing a bunch of different things, enjoying some green key lime pie. Maybe that's a power. Maybe it was an illusion. I don't know. But a lot of different green powers I'm excited to see. I've clicked the draft order randomizer, and what I must say is I don't like where it placed me, but I am very happy where it placed Ethan, so I don't really care.
Am I getting all
this
the
is
first,
this is ridiculous.
I got it right here. It's in front of me. If you want to know it's real, I'll zoom in here.
Can you just say it instead of making me squint? Can you please just say it? What
I
are we
can't see that.
Aisha number 1, Brandon number 2,
Oh, let's go.
Adam number 3, TJ number 4, Ethan number 5.
I'll take
This
that.
is a collusion of the highest form.
I clicked a randomizer and I got second last. Get out of here with the collusion. Shout out to Ruben who made a beautiful, beautiful draft board for us here. Yeah. And so we might as well start diving in. A reminder of the rules. It's going to be a snake draft. So Aisha will go first, and then in the second round she will be fourth. Third round she will be first, and final round she will be last. And then we're drafting our favorite movies of 2023.
So are y'all like looking stuff up during this? Is there like, because I'm about to do this. I could try to do this. No Google. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen this year though.
As a rule, we have to have seen the movie because they're our favorites. They're our favorites, and so if you have not seen the movie, you cannot draft it. And so I have not yet seen.
You can lie.
You can lie. If you lie and you're not caught, I was to you. If
I'm a horrible liar, so that's not going to work.
Sure, but I have not seen, full disclosure. There's some big things in my misses right now that I just haven't had a chance to go through.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
There you go.
Oh
there you go.
Man,
which is now
not missing anything.
Wow, BD.
Now it's
you totally didn't go to the premiere or anything, did you?
For what it's worth, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 just hit Disney Plus today. I don't know if our guy Brandon has had a chance to watch it yet, so when Guardians gets picked, let's avoid spoilers on it. Let's avoid spoilers on Guardians 3 just in case, because I want to make sure Brandon gets a chance to watch before we go in depth. So without further ado, Aisha, what is your first pick?
I mean, I feel like it's pretty obvious which one I'm going to be choosing, and that is a Barbie. I thought that movie was fantastic. Greta Gerwig took that movie out of knocked it out of the box. Margot Robbie is fantastic as Barbie. We can't get enough Kenergy from Ryan Gosling. Like, come on.
I'm just
And
kidding.
I'm just kidding. And America Ferrera, yes, and America Ferrera carried that monologue. So I'm choosing Barbie. That is my first pick.
Can I say one really quick thing on Barbie? I know this isn't my pick, but anytime that I get the chance to talk about Barbie on a podcast, I always like to shout out, obviously Greta made this movie. She has written and directed other films that are absolutely worth your time to go seek out. She also co-wrote this with her partner, Noah Baumbach, who has done movies like Kicking and Screaming. He just came out with White Noise last year. He has done some really impressive work as well. So if you like the kind of that existential humor that Barbie gives you, both of those filmmakers are excellent writers and excellent directors. So seek out some of their projects.
Yes, go check out Lady Bird and Little Woman by Greta. They're both great movies.
That Ryan Gosling guy might be able to have a career in acting.
He's all right.
It's okay.
He's all right.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah.
I wonder how you would do in a rom-com. BD, number 2 pick for us. What do you got? Barbie's off the board.
What's the other half of Barbenheimer?
Oh,
I'm going with Oppenheimer.
Armin.
Oh, that's tough.
Easy.
No
Easy.
Fuck.
Easy. Best movie of the year.
Barbenheimer over here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even feel like I need to explain this one. Oppenheimer is one of Nolan's best ever, and I say that as a huge Nolan fan. Movie left me speechless. The performances are incredible. It's a historical drama based in reality. It's terrifying, and it finds a way to manipulate the storytelling in a way that seems both authentic to the research I've done about the story it's telling, but also delivers a pace and attention in something that you know the outcome of. It's astonishing to me. So yeah, easy first pick.
Ethan, you didn't think that. There's no way you thought that was landing to you at 5. There's maybe Adam gets lucky, but you couldn't have thought that was landing.
That's why when I heard that I was the 5th pick, my soul was just sucked from my body, because I knew my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies of the decade so far, is not mine. So I don't know. BD, if you want to do any off the table under dealings here, if you want to trade maybe Oppenheimer, yeah, we can. I'm always open. That's all I'm saying.
I get 6 movies and you get 4?
If it means I get Oppie, I don't know. I'm open.
2 picks?
I will accept trades as long as you get it to Ruben before he creates the graphic for people to vote on Twitter. If it's after Ruben has created the graphic,
it's my movie of the year. I'm sticking with it.
Fair. Hey, at least we agree on that.
Barbenheimer is officially off the board. Adam, 3rd overall pick. What do you got?
Oh, this is so tough. I should have expected Barbenheimer to go 1 and 2, but part of me was just really hoping that one of you guys was going to throw a curveball at me.
Same.
I'm trying to decide between 2 comic book movies. You know what? I'm gonna go with Across the Spider-Verse. This is maybe just because it's fresher in my. It was a tough choice between Guardians and Across the Spider-Verse, but overall, I just really felt like Across the Spider-Verse was not even just a great movie. I mean, and Guardians was a great movie and an emotional accomplishment of itself, but I feel like Across the Spider-Verse will be remembered and studied in film and animation classes and stuff for the next 15, 20 years and things like that. So, and I think it is the comic book movie that I've enjoyed the most this year. That's so tough. John Wick 4 was also in contention at this pick, but I'm not. I don't feel great.
You can't just throw out movie titles here, dude.
Yeah,
Aisha's next, and then me.
I'm not going to be up for 4 more picks, honestly, Ethan. I'm just trying to screw you over.
Okay, I appreciate the transparency.
I'll take Across the Spider-Verse off the board. Yeah, we'll go with that one.
It's a wonderful, wonderful pick, but I'm thankful that my favorite movie of the year, that means, is still on the board with the 4th pick. I thought you were taking Guardians, but Guardians has been my favorite movie I've watched so far this year. Like I mentioned earlier, I haven't seen Oppenheimer in theaters yet. I'm going as soon as my wife is back in town. She's been out of town for the last week, and we're going together. But I'm going with I'm taking Guardians of the Galaxy, my favorite movie of the year so far. Ethan, you got back-to-back picks, last of the first round and first of the second round. Please humor me. Take 2 movies I've never heard of.
Okay, well, First movie you've definitely heard of, and that is John Wick 4. I'm taking a franchise film in the first round, which I personally don't feel great about, just because of the state of WGA and SAG-AFTRA and everything happening with the studios currently. But John Wick 4 came out a while ago. It is still in my top 10 for the year. I think the overhead shot is some of the coolest action filmmaking that I've ever seen, and continues to deliver something that's really kind of classified as like an elite level of action. So I am happy for John Wick 4, and I'm taking that as my first pick in the first round. And then my first pick of the second round, I am going to be taking, because if I didn't get this, I honestly just couldn't live with myself. So I am taking Past Lives. I'm sure this could have dropped to a lower round. Past Lives is my second favorite movie of the year behind Oppenheimer. It is a redefinition of the modern day lost love story, much like Brief Encounter was in the 40s. And it is truly an astounding film, written by Celine Song and in her directorial debut, which is just phenomenal stuff. So if you haven't seen Past Lives, I highly recommend it. And I got to rep A24. That is my podcast, 24 Minutes of A24. So I had to put them on my team.
Make sure to check out 24 Minutes of A24, because if that is, I was going to say if that's the genre of a movie you're into, but A24 is now diving into so many different incredible types of movies. But make sure you listen to 24 Minutes of A24, because like I said before, Ethan and I have very different tastes in movies. He thinks Power of the Dog is a masterpiece. I think it's absolute garbage. It's the most boring
on-air
movie
slander.
I have ever
God
watched
damn.
in my entire life.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
But having said that, I could listen to Ethan talk about absolute any movie, regardless of how I feel about it, just for hours, because his analysis is top level. So make sure you check it out.
And I think in the chat, I'm sure Garrett and I believe Klein, if Klein's still watching as well, they both called that I was going to pick Past Lives and go on a little mini explanation about it. So congratulations, you win a fake prize, but you did it. You know me so well.
That means I'm up next, and I didn't really think of how quick that was going to get to me, because I haven't actually thought this through all that much yet. And so I think I'm going to go with something just... Actually, no. I'm going to leave this because I don't think anybody else is going to take it. And so with my second round pick, even though the co-star is going through a lot right now, and I guess he's going through a lot of speculations, and we don't know what his future is going to be. We don't know how we really feel about him.
Can you not talk about Luigi like that?
not Luigi.
Boy.
But Kang the Conqueror himself, I'm going with Creed 3. Creed 3
you just
is what I'm going with.
I got so scared there. I was like, oh no.
Creed 3 is one of my top movies of the year, and the anime influences on the fight scenes, Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors together were fantastic, and so I adore Tessa Thompson. Creed 3 is my second pick.
I think if people like Creed 3 and like Jonathan Majors in a role like that, Magazine Dreams was a movie that came out at Sundance that is supposedly supposed to release in December. We'll see if that actually happens with everything going on. But keep your eye out for that, because it is Taxi Driver meets Creed 3, but less, and it's very interesting.
Adam, third pick. I feel like I might have just stolen yours, but that doesn't mean the clock's not ticking. Who do you got?
Oh yeah, you definitely stole my pick right there, but it's all good. No, it's all good. We bounce back, we recover. I am dreading doing this because I fear that I will lose the votes of many of our Tom Cruise hating people. But I think I'm gonna have to step up and take Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. It's the last movie left that's in my upper echelon. I wanted to get one of the really good action movies and stuff. So, oh man, I don't want to. I can't go too much into this, or else I barely have a chance of keeping Layla and them's votes that all despise Tom Cruise as is. So let's just keep it moving. I'm gonna take Mission Impossible. We'll keep it moving. We'll go on to the next pick.
BD's mad you took his pick, and the chat is mad that you didn't pick Ruby Gilman, the Teenage Kraken. BD, you are up with your second round pick. Who do you got?
Like I already had to open Google because this is every movie I've seen already this year. I'm just
That's
kidding.
probably not even all the movies you've been to
got to
premieres
bow
for.
out.
I don't even remember what's been this year. All right, what do we got? Honestly, oh man, I just like don't even remember what's been this year. It's all the same to me. You know what? Nobody's gonna pick this. No, because I got to think about what are people going to vote for. Nobody's going to vote for that one.
You got to go with your heart, though, sometimes, BD. You just got to listen to yourself.
You should go with Plane. You should take Plane.
I haven't seen it, luckily. Thank God.
Man, this sucks. Mission Impossible. I was like, he's not going to pick Mission Impossible. Man.
In the meantime,
no, I'll go with Dungeons and Dragons.
I was hoping that would slip to me in round 3.
I'll go with Dungeons and Dragons. That movie was a lot of fun.
The
cast was great together. Even if it wasn't perfect, it was still a lot of fun.
Great pick. I like that one a lot as well. That was what I was hoping was going to fall to me in round 3. Ruben is running the AOF Live Twitch account right now, and he's saying no Plane Slander alive. Apparently, that's he's loving that movie. So, Aisha, final pick of the second round, and then you got back-to-back your first in the third round here. What do you got for us?
Okay, I'm going to state the record. This wasn't my favorite movie, but it has my favorite actor in it. And that movie is Ghost.
Here we go.
Yes!
Did you just pick Ghosted?
She did.
Because my favorite actor is Chris Evans. I have to put him out there. Okay, about Ghosted. The movie
I'm happy
wasn't
for you.
great. The movie wasn't great. There were scenes that Anna and Chris were not in the same scene. The cameos were great. It's just I'm solely picking it because of Chris Evans. So that's why I'm choosing Ghosted.
Aisha planned to stay on Twitter.
That has been she's got lots of the Chris Evans stand hive is going to be coming to her aid on that one for sure. Aisha, who do you got for your first pick in round 3?
Okay, I have a plan, but what is this? The third pick in round 3?
First pick in round 3, yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry. I'm choosing Asteroid City by Mr. Wes Anderson. That movie was pretty creative. I'm not a huge fan of his films, but that film really got me in terms of like executing that type of like black and white and oh my god, I haven't seen this movie in a while. The black and white real world and the Asteroid City play, so that I really like that. So
it was also one of the first early screeners you got to go to as a member of the Agents of Fandom. So
yes, I did see Asteroid City early. Oh, Emma mentions the alien. Gotta mention the alien. That was crazy. Yes, Asteroid City is my third pick.
I love it. Great choice. BD, back up. Are you going a deep dive? Something you just personally enjoyed? Or are you going box office? Something near the top?
I mean,
or what he just found on Google.
I feel like there's a pretty easy way to play this game in terms of trying to get the votes. I think this movie. This is not in my top films of the year, but I think a lot of people enjoyed it more than I did. So I'm playing the game here with the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Tough.
Oh no!
Possibly the only $1 billion movie of the year. The other one, I thought Mission Impossible might do it, but Barbie might actually be number 2. I don't know if Dune's going to pull out a Billy, but Mario did it.
That I thought everything you were saying, I thought that was leading to Quantumania. I thought that's where you were going with that.
No, I want people to vote for me.
Did people enjoy that movie? I don't
know. What do you got with your next pick?
It's only fair that BD fucked me over right there because I was definitely going to say after I took Mission Impossible, I had Mario up on my list right there. You know what? There's a sleeper animated film that's been playing at the theaters for a couple of months now, really, that's just had some incredible legs. Yes. No. But it has some incredible legs that really was like surprising. I honestly wasn't all that in on seeing this. I didn't see it when it first came out. I think I saw it 2 or 3 weeks after it came out in theaters. And it was sneakily one of my favorite movies of the year. Just so much heart and a really, really great message that I think Pixar marketed very, very poorly. And that's Elemental. That's why my third pick, my first pick, my pick in the third round. We're going with Elemental.
I have no fear about somebody else taking this, but I think I'm going to go with it in the third round. Oh my goodness, no! I forgot one of my favorite movies of the year, and I just about let it slip through the cracks, but I forgot about it. Undoubtedly the funniest movie I have seen this year. Absolutely incredible cast. I'm going with Joyride.
Ah, that's a good one.
Oh, that was
Nice.
that was next.
Good one.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, definitely recommend to anybody who hasn't seen it. I think it might have just hit streaming. It might be available on a streamer now. I'm not sure. But if not, maybe video on demand. But if it's still in a theater, go check that one out because that one is a absolutely hilarious movie. Final pick, back to back. Your last two picks, Ethan. What do you got for us?
All right. Well, I hope Layla is still watching, and I presume that she is because Ben Affleck behind the camera. It doesn't get much better than that. I'm taking Air. One of my favorite movies of the year. Matt Damon with an elite level sports monologue. Captures the ultimate dad vibes. I love Air unapologetically. And that's because I'm a middle-aged white guy, and I love watching middle-aged white guys talk about business in business rooms, and it's great. So
I'll tell you, there's not enough middle-aged white guys in movies these days. Never has been. Just not. We need to get white guys more work.
We are the minority, clearly. Aisha's rolling her eyes
Just
so
to be
aggressively
clear,
right now.
I'm joking. Just so there's no
clip
confusion.
it. Everybody clip it.
Yeah, let's not clip that out of context, huh?
God, yeah, that's
Oh god.
Nice. Okay, I got
wow, this is exactly,
Mark in the chat.
exactly what the #1 pick in the draft was talking about.
As soon as I
wow.
realized it had nothing to do with horses, I wasn't really interested anymore.
You guys are. This is a witch hunt for me on this pod. Is what this is. I can't pick a movie
What's
without
left?
being
Are you about to take
slandered.
65?
Oh my god! I can't tell you how much
we need to
I
go
hated
10
that
rounds
movie.
deep for that. Yeah.
With Ethan's
Gotta
final pick, he's going with The Sounds of Freedom after that last comment.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ,
no.
help us all.
Don't do it. Please don't
gosh.
do it. I will close my browser.
I will literally cease to exist on all social media before I do that. Okay, this is my final pick. I'm the first person to finish out their team. God, I love how much I stirred the chat. This is really fun. I am picking a little bit of a niche pick, to be honest, but it is still one of my favorite films of the year, and I think it deserves a lot more love than it gets. It is Brandon Cronenberg's sophomore flick, Infinity Pool. Mia Goth and Alexander Skarsgård just absolutely going ham on the craziest movie of the year. Infinity Pool fucking rocks. Sorry, BD, but it's great.
Now I'm back to the drawing board. Dude, that movie was insane. I didn't think people
so
even gonna
good.
have heard of it though. I was like, should I pick this? Nobody's gonna know what this movie is.
I just cost myself any and all votes, and that's a reality I have to live with, but that's okay.
Did you see the NC-17 cut or the R-rated cut?
No, I only saw the R-rated cut. I heard the NC-17 it doesn't add that much, except maybe a little
Adds just
dong
enough
action.
to not need
Is it good?
No, no.
Nice. Okay. Good,
I did
good
not
to know.
need the NC-17 version.
Well, I own the regular cut. I'm on a hunt for the NC-17. This movie's great. I actually have an Infinity. You can't see it, but I have a massive movie theater size Infinity Pool poster on this whole wall of my shed, and it just is delightful.
You guys, I feel like have been right on the same page with all these picks throughout this draft, kind of bouncing back and forth. With my final selection, I knew Ethan wouldn't take this one. I figured I could last. It was a backup pick for all my picks, and it was the one I knew I was going to be taking in the last round. 1, because I love it unapologetically. 2, because I know it's going to piss Adam off. 3, because it's a great full circle callback to BD for introducing me to 2 of the cast members. I'm going with Cast X.
No.
Yes!
Oh my god!
Thank you, TJ.
Do you know how many votes you just cost yourself? That movie isn't good.
It's fantastic. It's just it's chef's kiss.
Cold
I
truth.
respect it.
It's my Morbius. I love it.
I'm glad you had fun.
Adam, your face just says it all.
That's a disgrace. See, I thought we were here to take this seriously. I see now that we're not. I've made a mistake in the first 4 rounds by taking
Wow,
this
look at this
seriously. I see
draft
now
that
this
I'm
is
putting
gonna
together, Adam. I could not be more serious.
I think I got my pick locked in here. I think I'm ready. Wait, I'm not next.
It's Adam's up. Adam's up. So he's probably going to steal your pick.
Okay.
I don't know. I've got like a couple of meme movies that I think might get some picks, and then I've got like a few movies that are just incredibly mediocre. All I did was go through the list of like my movie tickets that I've purchased this year.
Y'all got to get Letterboxd. This non-knowing thing is driving me insane. Y'all got to get Letterboxd.
That Letterboxd.
You know what? I am actually – so there was a movie that came out on Netflix this year that had what I believe is the longest one-shot in movie – longest action one-shot in movie history, and that's Extraction 2. That's my final pick. Did I tell you? Oh, no way. My final I'm sorry, BD, if that's the case. My final pick is Extraction 2. Lock it in.
Extraction 2, Adam's pick. Adam and Ethan picking from from BB's list the entire time. You got your last pick. Do you have a backup?
Nimona.
Nimona! Yes.
I was like, what else is on Netflix? What can we? Nimona was pretty good. Hold on, wait, is that my pick? I don't even know what's left this year. We've picked 900 movies so far.
I love that you said Nimona because that was one that like Adam's Theater has these mystery screenings where because he's a member he gets to go for free, but it's a movie that hasn't come out yet, so they don't know what it's going to be. And he was all hyped. What were you hyped up to maybe see? Weren't you like thinking it might be Spider-Verse? There was a chance it could be Spider-Verse, and then it was Nimona?
No, this was a couple of weeks ago. I thought it was going to be Oppenheimer because it was rated R, and then it was Talk to Me. And I'm not a horror guy, so I literally got up and left, and like all the teenagers that were in there just clowned me. I was getting, and then I got up and walked into. I'm not see. That's what everybody's been talking, like saying good things about it. But that's one of those things. Like I'm not a horror guy, so it don't really do it for me. But like I got up and walked right into Joyride and had the time of my life. So it was still a W for me either way.
And then
all right,
Nimona.
Tried to buy you some time. You going with Nimona?
I mean, yeah, I'll go with Nimona. Actually, you know what? No. I want to switch my pick. Transformers: Rise of the Beast was actually very good. Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Nimona was pretty good. No shade to Nimona, but the combination of the steampunk world with like futuristic technology just didn't really make sense to me. Even though it was animated, and they tried to do a cool world with the two of them. A futuristic medieval world didn't exactly work. And the story was fine. It was pretty good. Honestly, I really enjoyed that movie. I'm not going to lie to you. But Transformers: Rise of the Beast is slept on. That movie's very good. It's the best Transformers movie, well, since Bumblebee. So, yeah, that's my pick.
I haven't gotten a chance to see that one yet either, and I'm very excited about it. Beast Wars was one of my favorite cartoons growing up, and so I'm really excited to get to see this one adapted, get to see the Primals and the whole group there. And so can't wait for that one. Great choice. Aisha, the final pick of the draft. I'm going to be honest. There's one specific movie that if you don't choose it, I'm going to be a little bit upset at you.
I feel like I know what it is. Okay, so my final pick is a movie that meant a lot to me within my career here at Agents of Fandom.
Yes!
And it's probably one of the best live action remakes to date. And that movie is The Little Mermaid. Yeah,
strategically knew none of us were going to pick that.
Exactly. And I was like, I'm pretty sure everyone was going to pick. And I've seen the Little Mermaid twice. So
impressively done. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah,
I want to.
Shout out to Aisha, who got to go to the Agents of Fandom's very first red carpet premiere and got to interview Jacob Tremblay. And so you can find that up on our website as well as on the YouTube page. Let's see if this is still the case. If you search up Jacob Tremblay Jedi, is Aisha still number one?
Oh, that story went everywhere.
Yeah, that was a good one. E Online is number one right now. Come on, that's okay.
Boo.
Damn you, YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, we might have to put some re-edits to the article.
About that interview as well.
Hey, great work.
Thank you. I was gonna continue on. That movie was great. Halle Bailey, like she owned that role. Jonah Howard King was the perfect Prince Eric. Like I still listen to Wild Uncharted Waters on repeat because I had no idea Prince Eric had a song going in. Watching this movie, seeing that was just like, okay, wow. So yeah, that's why The Little Mermaid is my final choice.
I think
can I give a couple honorable mentions before we go into the remainder of 2023?
Absolutely. I was gonna throw in just like in terms of like box office, some big ones we didn't choose. Obviously, no Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. When we're all from Ethan used to host 15 Minutes of Marvel. We obviously cover all the Marvel shows and movies. Brandon hosts the like main Marvel podcast in the industry right now, and no Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Surprise for
I
me is
wrote the
no.
review for that.
We were
movie.
drafting good movies. That's why.
True. No Indiana Jones on the Dial of Destiny. No The Flash. Uh, no Shazam, Fury of the Gods. And
Shazam
so
is the best of every movie you just named.
I honestly thought with your last pick you might have been going Shazam. I thought that
It's
might have
not
been
that
where you
good.
went there. It's not that good.
Transformers. There's one thing I hate. Can I say a Shazam spoiler? Is it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I hate fake deaths in movies. It's like one of my pet peeves. I hate when you fake us out and you kill a character and then you unkill them. The way that ended, I was like, I honestly, I remember sitting there next to one of my friends. We saw it before it came out. We were getting ready to do the junket, and we're sitting there like, yo, James Gunn really came in and said, fuck it, we're killing them all.
Hey, we did it!
And because it's done. So I was like, they really killed him off. They killed this kid in this movie. And then they didn't. And I was feeling it. I was like, wow, this is really hitting. And then he was back. I still think the movie was a ton of fun. I liked it. It's my favorite of all of those. But of all the ones you named. But yeah, that was tough. No Cocaine Bear also. I see that in the chat. I thought about picking Cocaine Bear, but
That was one of the meme movies that was on my list for my last pick. I almost grabbed it.
Scream didn't get picked either. Was that this year?
Yeah, that
It
was.
was.
Scream
Yeah.
6,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was.
I think it's also. Yeah, I think it's also worth calling out. Blackberry is definitely one of the better biopics of the year. Glenn Howerton is pretty electric in that movie. Beau's Afraid, super divisive but super ambitious and really great. Really interesting movie. And then honestly, I really think that Sanctuary. I know a low-key plug for like the website. I did get to write up a review about it, but I think Sanctuary is like the renaissance of the of like having really good erotic thrillers in modern day cinema, and I loved it quite a lot. So yeah, watch those movies.
Live look at the chat realizing and Adam realizing that I forgot to draft Tetris, one of my favorite movies of the year.
Oof.
And
that's the one you said you wanted earlier. You were like, as long as I get Tetris tonight, I'm happy.
You know, if this was a month from now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I would have drafted Gran Turismo. It's I figured it's not eligible, but it's actually a very good movie.
You're not the first person I've heard say that, actually, of like somebody said we're going in low expectations, and then we're like, wow, this was actually out really good.
It's exactly what happened.
Interesting. Ruben wants to make sure we shout out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well. Make sure you go see that one. Before we get out of here, I want to also everybody give. Now, this isn't a draft. If you want to say the same thing as somebody else, that's okay. But just what is your most anticipated movie the rest of the year and why? Aisha, I want to throw it to you first because I know there aren't that many bigger Brie Larson fans than you, and I know it's the Marvels. Talk to me about it.
I mean, I've been so excited for this movie for so long, and finally getting the trailers and getting to see Brie Larson and Mon Vellani and Tiana Paris all together for a film is just I'm just so excited for this movie. So yeah.
Adam, how about you? You're next on the screen. What's your most anticipated movie the rest of the year?
Oh, it's easily and now there's a lot of conversation about whether it's going to be coming out later this year, but for me it's Dune Part 2. One I really enjoy going to the theater, especially like watching things in IMAX and stuff. And Dune is one of those movies that I don't know if I'm more excited to like actually watch the movie and talk about the movie, or if I'm excited to sit down in front of a big IMAX screen and just be absolutely blown away, because like the first one was an absolute experience to watch. I know the second one is just going to be, and the first one sets the table for a lot of what we're probably going to see in the second one and the third one. Like it's really slow paced, a little bit low key, but I still really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite movies of the last 3-4 years. So I'm really hoping that we get it in the second half of this year. I hope they don't decide to delay it. We were talking about this early in the week. I think you can just stick Zendaya's face on anything, and that'll be promotion enough for everybody. So I hope they stick with it. But yeah, for me, it's easily Dune 2. I mean, follow closely about the Marvels, like Aisha said. I'm really excited for that too, but definitely Dune Part 2.
Ethan, talk to me about cinema. The man himself, Steven Spielberg, comes out with a movie this year. Why should we be hyped for it?
Well, quite honestly, I am actually going to defer to BD first because I have a short list of things that I'm going to run through, and I don't want to steal BD's thunder if it's on the list. If that's okay, if I can pass the torch and then get it back.
Very considerate of you, of course. BD, what do you got for the movies you're most excited for the rest of this year?
Definitely my number one is The Creator. I think Gareth Edwards hits home runs, and I can't wait to see what he does there. Interesting time for a movie about humans versus AI. I love John David Washington. I think Tenet's one of my favorite movies of all time. I think he was phenomenal in that. I think The Creator looks visually phenomenal, and also at the same time very simple and real. So I just think Creator is going to be that's right up my alley. It looks like Oblivion meets Rogue One meets Elysium and iRobot, and I mean those are all movies I really like. To be honest with you, Oblivion I want it to be much better, but the rest of them all really good. So The Creator is definitely my number one.
For me, most of mine, and then I'll throw it to you, Ethan, after. For most of mine are ones that are already out. I haven't gotten a chance to see Oppenheimer yet. I haven't gotten a chance to see They Clone Tyrone yet, which is one that is right at the top of my list. I really want to see Indiana Jones as well as Transformers Rise of the Beast, and just haven't been able to make lots of theater trips lately, and so very excited for those ones. But for me, it's the same as Aisha. It's the Marvels. This was my most anticipated movie of the year. Ms. Marvel was my favorite Disney Plus series. I can't wait to see this team up. Ethan, what do you got for us? What should we be excited about?
And we'll give a shout out to whoever said yes, Tenet Hive in the chat. We are few, but we are strong. Love to see it. Obviously, Killers of the Flower Moon. I mean, that's the one, right? Scorsese's back. He's adapting an award-winning novel with Leo and Jesse Plemons and De Niro, and that movie is going to be unreal. I just want to put a few out there that I'm personally excited for. If you do have a letterbox, do add them to your watch list, write them down, whatever the case may be. They might have slipped past your radar, but they are definitely things to look forward to in terms of the state of movies and big movies, at least that are of personal interest. The first one is Zone of Interest. This is Jonathan Glazer coming back after doing Under the Skin. And then Poor Things, Yorgos Lanthimos' film starring Emma Stone and Willem Dafoe. Both of these movies come out on December 8th, so we're about to have a very depressed Barbenheimer Volume 2, which is very exciting. The Creator, obviously, BD, you mentioned that. That's on my list as well. Priscilla is the next Sofia Coppola film about Priscilla. Austin Butler is, Jacob Elordi is playing Elvis, which is going to be incredible. The Killer, David Fincher, is back with Michael Fassbender making a really grimy, violent film, and God, I pray that it gets released in theaters. Napoleon is a big Apple TV Plus one. That looks like it is going to be very, very large in scope. And then Maestro. That's the final one I wanted to call out. Bradley Cooper back for his sophomore film about Leonard Bernstein. After pushing it from last year because Tar came out and did so well, he wanted to have his own little spot, and I respect that. So I'm excited for all of those movies. Definitely ones to look out for in the back half of the year.
You don't have to wait for December. The next Barbenheimer is September 29th when Saw 10 and Paw Patrol, the Mighty movie, release on the same day. So I think that's going to be the next phenomenon we get. Make sure you check us out wherever you get your podcast. Rate 5 stars. Leave a nice review. Watch it on YouTube. Thanks so much for doing so. Hit that like button, subscribe, all of those great things. Aisha, Ethan, you were both so phenomenal. I'm so happy that you were able to come on, and I can't wait to have you back on. BD, thank you so much. This has been fantastic. It's every time I've gotten a chance to talk to you, I've enjoyed it, and you've been near the top of our list of people we want to have come on the Agents of Fandom show for a while. So we're so thankful for the chance to get to do it. And obviously, of course, where can the people find Phase Zero? Where can they follow you on socials? And do you have any interviews, anything like that coming out you want to plug?
I mean, you can find Phase Zero on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/c/Phase Zero, on Twitter, twitter.com, or I don't know, x.com, whatever the hell it is, /Phase Zero CB. You'll find me, Brandon Davis BD, wherever you want. I appreciate anybody who wants to come to it, but I think you guys are doing a great job here. So I think it's awesome. I really appreciate you guys having me on. It means a lot that you guys would invite me here. And I mean, like I see you guys on social media and in our comment section and just all you guys interacting together and people in the comment sections today. I mean, Brandon Moore, Emma, Layla, lots of people whose names I see all the time. Damon, a lot of people who are just awesome people. And I love that you guys are just carrying the torch of this community and keeping the energy of positivity and just inclusiveness and all the fun stuff that we like to do. I mean, I don't know. We didn't start that, but we try to keep it going, and you guys are doing the same thing. Like, I don't know. It means a lot to me that you guys had me on here. I appreciate it. I had a great time, and you guys are killing it. So keep it up.
You may not have started it, but you did start it for a lot of us. You were kind of the beacon that brought many of us together. So it will never not be appreciated. Make sure you check out BD stuff as well as Phase Zero. And this will be hitting the YouTube feeds and podcast feeds on Friday. And so that means my interview with Joe Quesada, former Marvel editor-in-chief, as well as Marvel Entertainment Chief Creative Officer for 20 years. We talked about his time there, his things he's most proud of, his regrets, what he's doing now with this DC, as well as he gave an update on a super secret project he still has coming with Marvel from before he left. So make sure you check out that interview. It's already up if you're listening to this on the podcast feed, and it drops tomorrow if you're live with us right now. So check that out. Thank you so much, Ethan, Adam, Aisha, and Brandon. On behalf of all of us and Ruben in the background, we will see you next week, everybody. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.